What if the fate of the Lakers' next championship dynasty hinges less on superstar talent and more on the cold calculus of timing, contracts, and razor-thin roster moves? What if, beneath the surface of flashy signings and highlight reels, the battle for purple and gold supremacy is being waged in quiet boardrooms, whispered agent calls, and ticking contract deadlines that could reshape everything? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Now, let's break down exactly what's brewing in this free agency storm, because after Bradley Beal's surprising flip to the Clippers, the market has jolted awake, resetting like lightning after a summer downpour. And there's a sense that the Lakers stand on a precipice, poised for a move or, at least, forced into one before the calendar flips again. We've already seen a rippling effect, with the Hawks quietly locking in Caleb Houston on a one-year deal. A subtle opening salvo that signals the heat is on and nothing can be taken for granted. The Lakers, in this volatile market, hold a critical card. Their roster is full at 15, but by letting go of Shake Milton, who's on a totally non-guaranteed contract until July 20th, they can trim to 14, freeing up a precious slot and maybe, just maybe, a chance to bring in a player who answers the glaring needs on the defensive end. Make no mistake, this is about more than just numbers. It's about identity, fighting an uphill war against a Western Conference that grows tougher every day. The mystery looming large is, who will replace Milton? And what does that signal about the Lakers' vision? Enter Gary Payton II, a name that's suddenly buzzing louder than a Lakers fan on draft night. This isn't just any player on the open market. No. GP2, known for his electrifying defense and relentless energy, has shaken things up by ditching his old agent and signing with Bill Duffy, the same power player who represents Luka Doncic and Adri Ayton. That alone is the kind of seismic shift that hints at more than just business as usual. It whispers of a potential Lakers connection, a familiar territory that Bill Duffy has helped navigate before by landing top-tier talent in purple and gold or similar high-stakes environments. This move suggests GP2 might be angling for a fresh start, and if that start is in Los Angeles, it could redefine the Lakers' defensive backbone in a way we desperately need. Think about what the Lakers have lacked: that point-of-attack lockdown, defender who can disrupt rhythm and change series. GP2, even at 32, which still feels like a stolen prime given his athleticism and pest-like defenses. One of the best wing defenders in the league when healthy. His numbers don't lie, and the eye test reinforces it. He's a thorn in anyone's side. Could this be the piece that plugs the defensive leak that's cost us momentum time and again? The Warriors seem to be moving on. Reports say they're chasing Dean Anthony Melton, maybe Al Horford, and trying to re-sign Jonathan Kuminga. Bradley Beal's departure, combined with those moves, suggests they might not prioritize bringing back Payton. And when a player switches agents in NBA free agency, it's often a loud signal he's exploring greener pastures, aiming for better contracts or circumstances. Here's where it gets interesting. The Lakers have the flexibility to offer more than the veteran minimum, especially if Shake Milton's contract is waived as expected. That means they can present a legitimate proposal, not just a flyer. GP the last season averaged a modest 6.5 points, 3 boards, and nearly a steal per game over just 15 minutes on a Golden State squad loaded with talent. But when you scale those metrics to per 36 minutes, he's producing almost double efficient, impactful, and doing it all while shooting an astonishing 57.4% from the field. His three-point shooting hasn't been elite overall, hovering around 33%, but his corner threes are a lethal weapon, with a career rate over 39% and last year topping 41% from there, which is exactly where the Lakers need spot-up shooters who don't demand the ball more than his shooting. GP brings backdoor cutting and swift athleticism that meshes beautifully with the Lakers' core, compared to someone like Jared Vanderbilt, who's already a fixture in LA. For his hustle and versatility, GP offers a more refined and reliable offensive role player, and that's vital. He's skilled off the ball, knows his role, and wouldn't be overwhelmed amid the star power of LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic's presence in the NBA's landscape if the Lakers can even land Doncic one day. But the court attention those superstars command could lift GP2's game just as well as anything the Warriors system did, maybe even better, because here he won't just be a cog. He could be a focal defensive disruptor in ways that turn playoff series. Yes, he's slightly undersized at 6 feet 2, but with a 6 feet 8 inches wingspan and the scrappiest defensive mentality I've seen. Gary Payton consistently defends bigger wings, holds his own at the point of attack, switches seamlessly on various positions, and plays like a guardian of the paint without being a traditional big. His presence would add immediate toughness to a Lakers defense that's been leaky and inconsistent, especially when the opposition zeroes in on mismatches. Defensive box plus-minus stats put him light years ahead of many peers' career plus 2.0 defensive BPM, compared to a Josh Giddey's 0.5 or even defensive EPM rankings, placing him in the 93rd percentile league-wide last season. Or will it be one more tantalizing what if as the sands of free agency fall? At purple and gold dreams hang in the balance. As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel the tension tightening in my chest. Every move, every contract wave, every agent change. The mechanics behind the scenes are more than just business transactions. They're threads in a fragile tapestry of hope, heartbreak, and history we refuse to let fade quietly. So, I ask you, Lakers Nation, is Gary Payton the defensive warrior who could tip the scales toward redemption? Or is he just another tantalizing glimmer in a market full of shadowed promises? Will the Lakers act decisively? Or will this become another season swallowed by indecision and missed chances? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. So is this the start of a new empire, or the beginning of our unraveling? Lakers Nation, wake the hell up right now, because this isn't a drill, and there isn't time for slow contemplation or half measures. We're staring into an abyss where a single roster tweak, a seemingly small chess move, could either ignite the furnace of a championship run or incense the ghost of opportunities lost, slipping quietly into another forgettable season. Think about it. LeBron James, the GOAT, carving the final chapters of a legendary career, not just adding to his highlight reel, but battling the crushing weight of expectation, carrying this team, not just on his back, but in his DNA. If Gary Payton steps in, it's more than a contractual addition, it's an extension of LeBron's legacy. A century who can guard the perimeter, pester the opposing ball handlers, and buy Braun those precious extra seconds to orchestrate magic. But if the Lakers miss out, the silence that follows won't just be about a name left unsigned. It will echo as the stifling sound of squandered chances, a demoralizing reminder that this era of purple and gold greatness might be slipping through our fingers faster than we're willing to admit. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis, a man already burdened with carrying the defensive pressure of a whole franchise, and the ever-hovering what could have been from the Achilles injury, stands at a crossroads. He needs support, a companion in the trenches who can guard without complaint and push the pace without hesitation. GP2's arrival could free AD from the constant doubles and traps that have worn him down season after season, but if that doesn't happen, it leaves Davis facing yet another grinding campaign where his brilliance is muted by the lack of a true defensive lieutenant. And LeBron's heir apparent, Bronny James, that name is buzzing around every corner, every LA sports bar, every pickup game echoing his father's footsteps, hoping for a dynasty rebirth. But what happens to Bronny's development if this team stays stuck, cobbled together without a clear identity, a championship culture that transcends a ragtag cast? This is about more than trophies. It's about building a legacy bridge from King James to the next generation, from the concrete jungles of Akron to Hollywood's brightest stage. Then there's Austin Reeves, whose rise is the most intoxicating subplot nobody dared to script. This kid, drafted, underestimated, has played with heart and fire that resonates deeply with every fan who's ever been written off. His status won't just be determined by stats or minutes, but by the kind of teammates the Lakers decide to surround him with, bringing the right pieces. And Reeves becomes more than a role player. He becomes a symbol of the new Lakers grind, a scrappy defender electrified by the company of warriors like GP2. But imagine if the front office fails to act decisively, leaving this young star to carry the load without the scaffold of experience and tenacity he needs. Then what? These decisions don't happen in a vacuum. Behind the scenes, whispers swirl of Jeannie Buss's steely grip on the franchise and the increasing buzz of billionaire interests circling, each with visions to steer the ship their way, threatening the balance of power and DNA that forged the Lakers' unique identity. The tension thickens, jealous of past glories, protective of the legacy. Wary of outside interference, Jeannie negotiates with a fierce maternal instinct that sometimes clashes with the modern madness of NBA power brokers. Could this summer's moves be the last where Buss's old-school authority commands the narrative, before shiny new money enters the fray, stirring competitive chaos wider than any Lakers legend could have imagined? Then, stretch your mind to the rich tapestry of Lakers history, the Showtime era of the 1980s, when the city danced to Magic's symphony and the fast break revolution rewrote the rules of the game. The unstoppable three-peat of the early 2000s, when Kobe and Shaq's fusion of talent and egos made a dynasty. The revenge saga of 2010, when heartbreak turned into the ultimate redemption song. The miraculous 2020 bubble banner won amidst a global pandemic's surreal silence, a modern myth forged in adversity. And now we stand on the edge of a post-title decline, a bittersweet moment where legends age, youth remains unproven, and the West's rising storm clouds gather with thunder. The Warriors aren't just a rival, they're a constant reminder of what sustained greatness looks like, even as they pivot away from one era to chase another. Denver flexes youth and skill with a swagger that says we're coming, Phoenix. And the Clippers lurk, ready to pounce on any sign of Lakers' weakness. The West more crowded and ruthless than ever. What if landing Gary Payton II doesn't just patch a defensive hole? What if it sends a ripple through the conference, so profound that it disrupts the Warriors' iron grip, forcing Phoenix and Denver to rethink their blueprints, scrambling to recalibrate their strategies? What if this one move, this player acquisition, shifts the entire landscape, igniting a new Lakers resurgence just when the rest are caught off guard? But what if the gamble backfires? What if injuries strike again, or the fit doesn't click, leaving the purple and gold scrambling once more, trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment? This moment pulsates with tension like the roar of a packed Crypto.com arena. In the final seconds of a playoff game, a tension that's both exhilarating and nerve-wracking, because the stakes have never been higher. The clock is ticking, not just toward contract deadlines, but toward the fading twilight of a legendary generation, and the tenuous birth of the Knicks. Picture the scene, LeBron charging down the court, eyes sharp, heart heavy with the weight of expectation, the crowd behind him a symphony of faith and anxiety, and alongside him, Gary Payton II hustling, constantly disrupting, a defensive vulture, ready to snatch momentum at the slightest breath. Can you see it? Or is this just a mirage, the final tease, before the Lakers descend into yet another offseason of second-guessing, financial contortions, and the relentless questions about what could have been? As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. This summer's chess move on GP2 might just be the spark that reignites purple and gold's legendary fire, or pushes us further into the shadows of Western chaos. Now, I want to hear it from you. Drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold, because the future of this franchise, of our dreams and disappointments, lies in every voice and every heartbeat that bleeds Lakers colors. So tell me, are we about to witness the rise of a defensive powerhouse that reclaims our birthright? Or are we staring down the barrel of heartbreak dressed in the shimmer of false promise?